just want to go back to the ayat of the Quran that the Imam read in Salat al-Maghrib. That regarding roughly the meaning is that in the Injil and the Torah there were signs. Prophet Muhammad has been mentioned in all the world scriptures. Every Nabi that came into this world foretold and prophesied the coming of Rasul. In fact, when Allah created the souls of the insaniyat, and He asked, Alastu bi Rabbikum, and every one of us said, Qalu bala. I have heard from the ulama that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then took the souls of the prophets to one side, and they were taken an extra
Allahu Akbar.
Covenant from him, agreement, that if I said to my Nabi, my Habib, during your time, how would you help him? Would you help him and support him and follow him? And each and every Nabi give that pledge, that if Muhammad was here during their time of prophethood, they would support and help him in whatever way they could. So this is showing the status of, as Prophet Muhammad said, that my status is like if there's a building and there's one brick missing after that building. I am that brick that brick who has come to complete the building. The religion, the deen of Allah, the deen of Islam has been completed in the Prophet Muhammad. And as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولٍ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. I have said Muhammad as a perfect example to be followed. And it's not just, alhamdulillah, throughout the whole of the world, during the month of Rabiul Awwal, almost millions of people are remembering Rasul. But the purpose of remembering Rasul is to bring his character into our life.
That's right.
And if I could share with you just how the world is actually thirsty. In November, with the tawfiq of Allah, I went to Lucas Primary School to do a talk to some primary 7 kids. And just yesterday I received letters from each of the pupils that were there. We might think that the kids, when I was praying in front of them, I had to read my Salat al-Zuhr. The kids were laughing, giggling, as though they were showing unrespect. But when I read the letters, even though they were kids and they were laughing and joking, giggling away, but what I did and what I said to them actually affected me, because I was surprised that some of the kids even remembered about the 5 R's I mentioned, about respect, remorse, repentance, showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, grateful. Meaning that Rasul won the hearts of his enemies through his character, through his morals. Like we know the old lady, whenever Prophet used to pass through that street, she would throw rubbish on top of it. Yet one day when Rasul passed, there was no rubbish on it. He didn't say, Ya Allah, thank you, no rubbish today. He questioned, that lady is not there. And he found out that she was sick. Again, Rasul didn't say, like probably I would, oh, she deserves that sickness. No, he became concerned. Went and knocked on the door. And the old woman asked her to come in. She did not recognize who he was. And when the old lady asked, who are you, young gentleman, nobody's come to see me since I've been ill. And he said to her that, do you not recognize? I'm the very same person who used to throw your rubbish. And straight away she said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. You have the story of the old lady who was leaving Makkah, and she was carrying heavy baggage. And the Prophet saw an old lady carrying weight, and he offered to help her. And as they're walking, the woman is talking about, there's a young guy in Makkah, the reason why she's leaving Makkah, who is creating divisions among families, a rift. And when she reached her destination, she said, I don't have anything to give you, but this is my advice, that you be careful. And then she asked who you are. And the Prophet said, I'm exactly the person you have described. You know? And again, the lady said, and the biggest thing of the character of the Prophet being Rahmah for the world is, again, connecting to the ayat of the Quran, that when the Prophet came to Makkah, when Makkah was conquered, one of the announcements that he made was that whoever take refuge in the house of Abu Sufyan, there will be no retaliation made against. Even the wife of Abu Sufyan, who at that time was not Muslim, was shocked that I am the very person who gave the order for the uncle of Prophet ﷺ to be murdered, to be assassinated. And not only that, then she cut open his chest, took out the liver and the heart, and she chewed it with her own teeth. But yet the Prophet even overlooked that. And the thing is, these are the character, these are the things that we need to bring to our lives today. You know, that we forgive others when they have done zulm upon us. And this is the biggest, one of the biggest lessons that we learned from the Prophet. And as we know, before the birth of the Prophet, even according to the Western historians, in the books of history, it was known in Europe, it was the Dark Ages. It is said by the ulama of Islam that the true teachings of Allah's deen was nowhere. They were all distorted. The whole, in fact, even the Hijaz Muqaddas, in the area where the Sahaba came from, they were so low that even the three great empires, the Abyssinian Empire, the Roman Empire, and the Ethiopia, Abyssinian, these three empires, they did not even rule over them. Why? Because they would start to kill each other just because my animal drank water before you, before that. On small things they would kill and argue. And not only that, these battles used to go on for small things for hundreds of years. That if there was blood lying on the ground, they would lick it. A woman will come into the marketplace and make an announcement that I have given birth to this child. Whoever is her father, take it. But those people who nobody wanted to rule over, when Nabi Akram was sent to them as a messenger, and they did ittiba of the Rasul and they accepted the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated those people. If we take Bilal radiallahu anhu, a slave, he didn't have no worldly wealth. Only thing he had that belonged to him was his body. But for the sake of this kalma, la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, he sacrificed his body. And he kept on saying, Ahad, 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 even with the beating he was getting. What happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala elevated him to become the personal muezzin of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He became the personal treasurer of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That even in Medina, the Jews had gone and settled there because they knew the last prophet was going to come to Medina, because it was really written very clearly in their kitabs. Salman Farsi radiallahu anhu, he was brought up as a Christian, and his teachers were all very high scholars of Christianity. And the last teacher who left him, he told him, go. You want further teaching? You will not get him in the world now. You need to go to Medina, where the last prophet is going to come. And that's where you'll get the right guidance. So regarding Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's no doubt about who's character. Even today, I believe in 1900 and something, the Supreme Court of America have acknowledged that the human being who's given the best human laws is Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So my dear brothers, the problem is that have I accepted Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as my Nabi? Have I accepted his message? Just to say that I love the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not enough. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is seen in the Quran, as Dr. Bashir also said, you know, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu ati'u Allah ati'u Rasul. All believers, obey Allah and the Messenger. Because Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam brought us guidance in everything in our 24-hour life, from the day I was born to the day I die. Everything we do, if we do according to the way Allah and the Prophet told us, we will be peaceful in this world and the hereafter. As one scholar was saying just recently in a talk, that if we take the life, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not have one wife. He had many wives. Yet in each of his household there was peace, yet there was no food. Why? Because of his character. Amma Aisha radiallahu anha used to say that I used to do the housework. I used to get tired. But whenever Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to enter into the house, he will always enter smiling. And when I used to see the smile of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his teeth, my tiredness used to disappear. But when I enter into my house, do I take out all my pressure that I have had outside onto my family? Yet Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he did not take his worries out from the outside into the house. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to read about the Sirat of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And not only remember him today, but we should talk about Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to the whole of mankind. Every day, every opportunity, we should talk about Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And as Dr. Bashir also quoted the ayat of the Quran, you know, the least we should do for Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is that every day we should recite salawat on the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And obviously there's a hadith of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the closest among you who will be me on the day is the one who has read the most salawat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us.
Just a comment about what Dr. Bashir was saying, that the Muslims, the poorest people in the world at the moment, only Muslims. The famine in the world, only in Islamic countries. If every Muslim gives his zakah properly, 2.5% of his income, of his profits, to the poor, there wouldn't be one poor Muslim in this world. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he used to sleep and live days without food. He used to sleep sometimes with a stone in his stomach because it's rumbling. So, and there is hadith which says that أكثركم شبعا في الدنيا أقلكم شبعا في الآخرة. If you eat so much during your dunya, you will be not good in Akhirah. So if you have to remember that, this is very important. The last thing is that of the character of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. If you have no heart or heartless, nobody would have followed you. That's all I want to say. Akh Abdurrahman wanted to finish.